Hey there, how we all doing today? Today, as you can see in front of us, we got three Seiko 5 watches, and we're going to have three times the fun today. This one here, we've got, these are the new Seiko GMT Seiko 5s, and the Seiko 5s came out, last year? They've been so popular, and it's been hard to remember when exactly they came out because it's just the demand has been crazy and it's been so hard to keep them in. But now we got three new colors. There's your warranty card and everything. You know, the boring stuff, but when you need it, you need it. So don't ever lose that card, folks. So let's take a look at the first one we got here and let's unbox it. And yes, beautiful. Oh man. Yeah, sometimes they don't come out right in the right way. And here we got this beautiful yellow dial. This is the SSK017, one of the new Seiko 5 GMT dial colors. The first series we had an orange, and now it's nice to have the yellow. The orange is the one that gets the attention of the bright colors. The yellow, though, I really enjoy the yellow. It's got a cool look to the yellow. And the orange always seems to get the attention, so it's nice to have the orange dial. There you can see the back of the watch and the rotor, and these watches are just great. The three that we got here are a nice addition to the other GMTs, so pretty much a home run all around with them. The bezel, everything just looks really good, especially when you consider the prices of the watch. And this one, they got a power reserve of about 40 hours. They'll tell you 41 on the Seiko website, but it really does feel more like 40 hours. This is what are we looking at here now? The next watch, and then we'll try them on and everything. So I'm trying to throw everything in this video for you. So if you're having trouble deciding, oh man, which one of these awesome new Seiko GMTs you want, we'll show them all right here to you right now, so you can kind of pick yours. Luckily, they all came in at once. A lot of times one color will come out and the other ones don't. And here we got the PepsiCo ring on there, and with the gray dial. So it's a PepsiCo, but with the gray dial. So a little different than your usual PepsiCos, but it's subtle, and I do like it. It looks cool. There you got the strap. They got the extra safety there on the buckle, and of course, let's take a look at the back. And here you got the display window here. And of course, what's kind of neat is you move it around and you see those hints of the blue and red. It's not really in your face. It's kind of subtle. And this is, of course, a GMT. It's a 24-hour GMT. The 24 is the red hand there, and then your regular hour hand and minute hand are the other kind of silver white color ones. And of course the second hand is the one ticking away there, and it's got a magnified date on it, as well as all three of these. Basically they're all the same model as last year's, but with different colorways. And just a neat looking watch. They're all fun. It's what's nice now is that there's so many different ones that you can really kind of pick the one that fits your personality the best. See here, you can see the blue and red. Real subtle. It's not that strong blue. I think if they did a blue again, the last series, the first ones to come out, had a lot of blue in that original model. So they wanted to keep them all looking a little different. And then here's the one that I'm kind of most interested to see what it looks like. You got a little bit of gilding on here. Seiko's been a little braver lately with the gold toning. Everything's usually stainless lately, but this past year they've kind of gone a little more crazy, with the gilding and stuff like that. So this would be the first GMT Seiko 5 of the new series that have the gilding on it. So this one, you got that little bit of gold toning around the rim of the bezel there. And then, real subtle, you got the gray dial, real kind of monotone looks, and then you got that pop of gold, which is really cool. And it ties it in with the, if I ever put the dial back so you can see it, there we go, you can see it a little bit, showing you the gold toning here. You don't see it as face up as much. It's something you see more for the side. But there on the dial, you look at the GMT hand. That's where you've got the gold toning that ties into the rest of the watch. And here you got the display back again. And in a second, I'll kind of show you what I was talking about with that. And there you go. You can see that GMT hand. I'm not moving the watch around so much. So here you can clearly see it a lot better. And then even in this angle, you can see the magnifier on the date a little better, so you know what you're kind of getting into. This is the old kind of like SKX model. A lot of the Seiko 5s are presented in that series. And these are the SKX GMT, and these are all three of these models are the US special creations. So they're the models that's available in the US market, not worldwide. Europe gets a couple special ones. In Japan they get a couple of their own. So every little area will have their own kind of variations or special editions. This is a US special edition, and it's kind of cool. Like I said, the monochrome look, and then the boldness of the gold that kind of just like hints at it, and it pops out and really ties it all together. Here we have all three watches right next to each other, so you can kind of pick. So even though you have the blue and red chapter ring, basically it's the choice of a gray dial or a yellow. Since there's not that many GMT Sports 5, is that too many gray dials? I don't know. The one with the chapter ring, the blue and the red, is a little darker. The other one is a little lighter of the two grays, as you can see here. It's hard to pick. If you want a sportier look, you definitely would go with something more like the yellow dial. The one in the middle, the PepsiCo coloring, that one, gives you kind of like an in-between vibe. And I really feel like the gray one with the gold gilding, that one kind of gives you like a little more of the dressier of the three, if that kind of explains it. I mean, they're all very similar, but that would be kind of the differences between them. And I'm just moving around here. So, sometimes when one color is next to another color, it appears slightly different. But this way you can kind of get the feel of all the colors and kind of like what's going on dial-wise and color-wise for your decisions. The black dial and the blue dial that came out last year, man, they were always sold out. They were hard to get a hold of them. So it's nice to have a couple other options too. Seiko keeps doing a lot of different colorways and everything for all these different watches that they're making now. So it makes it hard sometimes. Sometimes you're looking at it like, oh, should I get this one? Or are they going to change a color that maybe I like more in 6 months or a year? So then you end up, getting one and then maybe getting the other one later down the road. But you're always thinking about, oh, what other color can they kind of do? And this is, of course, Seiko 5 is celebrating the 55th anniversary this year. This has been a super heavy Seiko 5 year. You can see the watch on my wrist now. I think that's why we've gotten a lot of these new Seiko 5s coming in. And what's nice about Seiko 5s is they're the more affordable of the bunch, and it just seems like Seiko is having a lot of fun with the Seiko 5 division. You know, the Pro Specs and the Presage are, you know, they're a little more formal. You know, I guess as formal as maybe a sports watch can be or a dive watch. But this one here is more like, hey, we're going to try to do some different colorways. We're going to try to do some different funky things. And you can find that more with Seiko 5, especially when they start having other properties that they add. Like, you know, we had the Snoopy watch that dropped. And, you know, there's been just so many this year because the 55th. We got the Bruce Lee coming up soon, coming out in October. And that'll be an interesting one to see. It's got 2 straps, and it comes in a larger display case, and we will of course be talking about that one on here. For those of you that don't know, my wrist is about a 7.5-inch wrist, so that'll give you kind of an idea of, you know, the size comparison. The case diameter for this is 42.5, and yes, they are all the same cases, just different colors, so it is 42.5 millimeters there. And the bracelet is the traditional the 5-row bracelet. I was never really a huge fan of these. They kind of didn't use them too much, and then they kind of came back. But with these GMTs, I think they look really sharp, and they feel like they kind of belong together with this. And it's just a nice looking series of watches here, and they've all got the same lume. All the lume is the same color, and as always, you know, Seiko gives you a good lume, so it makes it easier to see in the dark. So very cool watches overall. And this is the 4R34, a special modified movement for the Seiko 5 GMT. So here we see it ticking away. I didn't have a chance to stick these in the light for too long, so they're a little darker than they would normally be. You know, usually you got that bright, vivid lume to it. So thank you all for watching the video. I appreciate it. Have a good one. Thanks.